Welcome to Alex Cody Guide Service. I'm going to show you how to fix a broken rod guide today. This happens to be one of my friend's rods. He blew out the insert here, as you can see. You can see the ceramic guide in this one, no ceramic guide in this one. This is on the tip of a rod. Very easy way to do this. Alright, first what we're going to do is we're going to cut off the old guide. Be careful not to cut your hands when you're doing this. A good sharp knife helps. Now all you want to do is you want to chip away at the epoxy on the front side of the guide tab here. You don't want to cut through the rod, and you just kind of work your way slowly doing it till you get enough to where you can just about break the guide free and slide it out without doing too much damage to the rest of the wrapping. And I'll explain the reason why behind that. See, she's starting to come out now. We're just going to wiggle it out. Need to cut a little more here. There we go. Alright, guide is out. Now I'm going to go into my handy dandy pile of spare guides here that I keep. You know, it's a nice thing to do for yourself is when you see broken rods at the bolt launch, or you break a rod, or whatever you come across, I pick up the broken rods and I cut the guides off them, because you never know when you need a guide that needs to be fixed, or you have a friend that needs a guide that needs to be fixed. Now this is the broken one. This is the one I'm going to replace it with. It's just about the same exact size and diameter. You want to match them up the best you can. Alright. Alright, so I left the original wrapping on there. You can kind of see it there. Alright, I do that for a reason. It helps me line up the guide easier. Now if you're using micro guides, you got to cut all the original wrapping off. You got to take the epoxy off. You can go right down to the rod blank. But these aren't micro guides, so we can get away with this. So what I do, seeing as how I can cut all the wrapping off, basically I made a little insert in there that allows me to slide the replacement guide right inside. Very simple. And I like super glue. Super glue is my epoxy of choice. And I put a little dab on there to get it lined up, kind of secure it a little bit. I'm going to pull the rod out of view here for a minute and just make sure everything's straight in a line. Alright, everything looks good here. Bring the rod back into view here and I'll show you how I wrap it. It's a very simple way of doing things. Alright, so we got the super glue on there. I take my thread. You can use regular sewing thread. You can use, this happens to be fly tying thread. I even use braided fishing line at times, depending on what I'm doing and how I'm doing it. Alright, so what I'm doing is I get it started so that the thread's not going to slip off. And then I just wrap it real tight and real slow. Start at the bottom and work my way up. I want those wraps as tight as I can get them. Tag end's got enough wraps on it now, we can cut that off. I like to be as neat as possible. Alright, tag end's gone. Now we're just going to wrap this up right up to the base of the guide. Alright, that's it. I do a couple of half hitches My fingers want to work. Up over the actual guide itself, just to kind of lock the thread in place. Alright. And then I coat everything in a good amount of super glue. A lot of places use epoxy. I'm not a big epoxy fan. I like super glue. I use super glue for just about everything. And that's your repaired rod guide. I'm just going to kind of spin it nice and slow and get the super glue coated over everything evenly here. And I use the tip of the super glue container to kind of spread it out. Use your fingers and you start gluing your fingers together. You don't need any of that. So once you get good at it, it looks just like a professional repaired it. There you go. That's the new guide. That's the original wrapping. New guide wrapping. Can't even tell the difference here now, can you? Alright. That's it for on how to repair a rod guide on a spinning rod. It's the same thing for a bait caster. Any questions, concerns, thoughts, reach out to me at Alex Cody Guide Service on Facebook. Tight lines, everybody. Remember, hook sets are free.